Yo, what is good, Sixer Nation? DFJ Hoops here, back again with another live stream. Hey, we got to talk about the Sixers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. We got to cover that game today, so that's what I'm here for. So, if y'all come in, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon too. Um, excuse me. Salute to BJ in the building, bro. What's good, bro? Salute. Easy comp last night. I'm not impressed. Saying it's a huge win is nasty work. I'm gonna explain why I think it's a huge win. Which I mean, I get what you're saying because I mean, no Giannis, I get it, right? No Giannis, and Milwaukee, they don't really have any other All Stars on the roster. So yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, I got you, bro. He says do better. Salute to White Square here. Appreciate you, bro. Big up DFJ Hoops. What's good, bro? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. But yeah, let me not waste any more time. Let me just get right into it. So the 76ers took on the Milwaukee Bucks on a back-to-back, which the reason why I'm calling it a huge win is that I mean, since the season started, when the Sixers play any back-to-backs, they either lose the first one and win the second one, or they win the first one and they lose the second one. Right? It's either one or the other. But and last night in particular, like they were able to win two games, right? Two back-to-back games. They beat the Golden State Warriors. Now I wasn't able to cover that game, but that game was very very surprising, considering the lead that the Sixers had, and then Golden State battles back, and then it's a close game, and then the Sixers, last game heroics, they're able to win the game, right? But they were still able to win it, right? And then they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, which is the next night before. I mean, the next night after. Now, what makes it very very impressive is that it was a traveling back to back, right? So right after the Golden State Warrior game, they get on the flight, they go to Milwaukee, and they're able to win, right? So that's why I'm calling it a huge win, right? Winning two games in a row. Now, a lot of surprises in that game, which I'm gonna get to, right? A lot of players, a couple players surprised me, and others, they did things that I expected them to do, right? White Square says, "Yo, I dead ass turned the game on for the pre-show, fell asleep and woke up as Kate Scott and Ala were saying the Sixers win." Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're able to watch Sixer games through their point of view or their perspective because I can't do it. Right, listening to Kate Scott, I just can't do it. So I always watch it from the opponent's point of view, like the opponent's they commentators, because I can't listen to Kate Scott. Yeah, it's just too much for me. I can't do it. So, but yeah, it was surprising, right? It was very very surprising. But let me just get right into it. So, when this game started, they had Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Paul George, Dominic Barlow, and then Andre Drummond. Of course, Joel Embiid is not going to play on a back to back, so we all expected it, right? Now, I think Milwaukee came. They started off slow, right? They started off slow. The Sixers also started off slow. Especially from the 3 point line. In the first quarter, it was horrendous, right? They started off 1 for 6 from the three, right? But they were still making some good plays. There was a play where Andre Drummond, on the short roll, was able to find a cutting Dominic Barlow to the basket and made a nice play. I thought that play was very, very good. Paul George was also making some good plays. I saw on Instagram people saying that Paul George decided to show up in this game, and I kind of disagree with it, right? I kind of disagree with it. I think in this game, yeah, he was much more aggressive, but also he was also involved in the offense as much, right? In the previous games, Paul George is, he seems to be relegated into the corner and he's being used as a spot up shooter, which Paul George he's just versatile to do more, right? You can't just put him in the corner and just expect him to, get into some kind of rhythm from just standing in the corner and shooting threes, right? You got to involve him. You got to have him moving around, have him touching the ball, running DHOs, running pick and rolls with some of the big men, right? That's what gets him going. So I felt like in this game, he was more involved in the offense and in the plays. And Maxey also did a good job, when Paul George had mismatches, he did a good job finding Paul George and letting Paul George go to work. So that's good, recognition from Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Quentin Grimes, right? So we got to give those two credit for that. But yeah, the Sixers they start off 1 for 5 from the 3 point line until Jared McCain, he checks in the first in the first quarter, and was able to make a three, right? But the Sixers were still able to generate offense, right? They were still able to get to the free throw line, convert a few layups. They went on a 9-0 run, and that's when Quentin Grimes hit a three, Jared McCain hit a three, and then you had you had Jabari Walker, coming into the game and also knocking down threes. And then that's when the Sixers start to pull away in the first quarter, right? They started to get hot, and then Milwaukee wasn't able to keep up. And then, an 8-point lead turned into a 10-point lead, and then the 12-point lead. And then they were able to get up to by as many as 13 points in the first quarter alone. Now, speaking of Jabari Walker, Jabari Walker was very, very impressive in this game, right? Very, very impressive. And it was because Milwaukee was leaving them wide open. Pause. Yeah. Milwaukee was leaving him wide open, and he was able to knock down shots, right? He was knocking down shots, making shots, open shots from the corner. And also he was getting into the paint and then also making plays from there, right? In the second quarter, I saw Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry checked in the second frame, and it was very, very. I was very surprised because I didn't expect Kyle Lowry to get any minutes in this game. But Nick Nurse, found some minutes for him. Right, he found some minutes for him. And me personally, I thought Kyle Lowry did a solid job, in my opinion. Right, I think he did a good job staying in front of a couple players. I mean, he did get blown by a couple times, but on some possessions, he was able to, hold his own, able to draw a foul and cause, a turnover on the other side, right? And he was also able to knock down a three. But in the second quarter, it was just that the Sixers had it going offensively, and it was all started by Jabari Walker, right? I think he made he made 3 threes. He started off the quarter with back-to-back threes, and then he made another one, right? But he got so aggressive, shooting threes, and then also getting offensive rebounds, and then, going up and then finishing with and ones and shit like that, right? But it all started with Paul George as well, because Paul George was the initiator. He was orchestrating the offense and, finding guy shots and, finding Jabari Walker. Most of his shots came from Paul George, right? Or some form of shot creation from Paul George, right? Some hockey assists as well. Now, I think Paul George created a ton of opportunities for the Sixers, for other players as well. And I just felt like Jared McCain missed a ton of threes from Paul George, right? It was just some of these shots that he's capable of making, but he wasn't able to make those shots, right? But I think Paul George would have had more points than more assists than what he had last night. I think he finished with 5 or 6. But it would have been a lot more because he was getting guys like a lot of wide open looks, and Jared McCain was just not able to knock them down, right? And then on top of that, Maxey, also struggled in this game, right? Now, me personally, I think he was, I think fatigue played a part in it, right? I think fatigue played a part in it because, dropping 30-point games, bro, that shit not easy, right? He's had 3 nights in a row or 3 games in a row where he finished with 35 or more points. Like, yo, that takes a lot, right? Especially from a little guard playing a ton of minutes. Yeah, that shit, it do be adding up. So, but Maxey struggled in this game. But I think they played good defense on him, right? I think Ryan Rollins was playing some solid defense on him. He did a good job with ball denials and also staying in front and not making Maxey comfortable from the start of the game. So, that definitely contributed to why Maxey played, bad offensively, or as far as, scoring the basketball wise, right? Maxey was 5 for 14 from the field, right? 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. But I felt like Maxey did, he did other things, right? He played some good defense on AJ Green, right? He was playing some good defense on AJ Green. And then AJ Green ended up, having to check out because Andre Drummond nailed him on the on one of those screening rolls, right? He nailed him, think he took a hit to the shoulder and he had to check out. But Maxey played very, very good defense, right? So I'll definitely give him that, right? He played good defense. I was very, very impressed, right? I was very, very impressed because, a shooter like AJ Green, you don't have to make them comfortable, right? You got to be in front of them and, force them to put the ball on the floor and get uncomfortable. And that's what he was doing. And I was very, very impressed with it. But the Sixers, making threes. I mean, after Walker was making his threes, Paul George also started to get in the heater. He got to his spots. I think Paul George played a very, very good game, right? Not rushing anything, getting to his spots, playing at his own pace, and not letting the defense dictate what he does with the basketball, right? So it was very, very impressive. He got to the mid range, he got to his spots, very, very comfortably, made some shots from there. Knocked down a few 3-pointers, right? He knocked down a few threes, and he was very, very aggressive, right? In terms of, making plays, scoring, creating scoring opportunities for others. And also he was playing some good defense, right? Stepping into the passing lanes, getting some steals, taking charges. Like Paul George, his defensive IQ is very, very underrated, right? People don't really focus because I mean, a lot of people don't really understand defense that much. They only understand when the ball goes into the basket, right? That's what people are looking for, and which I mean, rightfully so. I mean, sometimes he does have to get criticized for not being so aggressive, but if you pay attention to what he's doing defensively, you understand why you understand his value to any team, right? Especially to the Sixers. But Paul George being aggressive, it helped the Sixers, put up points, and the Sixers went up by as many as 24 points in the second quarter, right? They had a 24-point lead by mid second quarter, and Maxey, like I said, struggling offensively, but was able to expend energy on the defensive side of the floor and be a disruptor defensively, right? I felt like Maxey was playing some good defense, not just on AJ Green, but also on what is it? Is it Ryan Rollins? Yeah, the point guard for the Bucks. He was playing some good defense on those two guys. And sometimes he tried to step in front of Kevin Porter Jr. and play some good defense, but I mean KPJ, he got the size advantage, so 9 times out of 10 he's definitely going to have the mismatch, right? And he's going to play it the right way. But Maxey's effort defensively, you got to appreciate it. But he played, how many minutes did he play? 36 minutes, off a back-to-back. And last night, he played a ton of minutes as well, giving you 35 or more points. So, I'm not going to criticize him as much, right? Because he's been doing his job. But it's also impressive that the Sixers can win a basketball game when Maxey's not giving you that many points, right? He only finished with 12 points, right? But the Sixers were able to get contributions from other places, right? Paul George chipped in, Quentin Grimes chipped in, and then also you had Jabari Walker who also chipped in, coming off the bench and giving the Sixers decent production off the bench. So smash the like button as y'all come in. Smash the like button as y'all come in. Sixers, Bucks, post-game reaction from DFJ Hoops. And appreciate y'all for tuning in. In the third, just like the Sixers have been starting off any third quarter, they started off a little slow offensively. I think they played the first 4 minutes without a field goal, right? They only got to the free throw line, and that was from, I think, Adem Bona, right? And salute to Adem Bona, too. I think Adem Bona has been, he's only in the second season, but he's starting to, play a little bit smart defensively and, not get off his feet every single time, not go for pump fakes as much. And, sometimes just respecting shooters and, just putting a hand up and not trying to get into their airspace, right? So you got to give him credit for that. But, still, he still has some, flaws, some deficiencies, right? Still not able to catch the ball, which is very, very, it could be very, very annoying sometimes because, sometimes when the offense gets cold and, you're trying to get something going and you run a good screen and roll action and then you hand it off to the big man and he's not able to catch it, that's very, very, it gets very, very frustrating, right? But, shout out to him. He played good last night coming off the bench. But, with the Sixers, going 4 minutes without a field goal. I think they only got to the free throw line a couple times, but that was until VJ Edgecombe was able to get a circus shot to go. And then after VJ made that shot, Paul George, made a three, Quentin Grimes made a three, and then the Sixers, still were up by as many as 22 points, I think. But it was right there. It was right there where Quentin Grimes had that play in transition where he bumped knees with, I think, Ryan Rollins. Was it Ryan Rollins? Your KPJ, one of them. And when he went down, like you could see him grimacing, and he just clutched onto that knee. And I was like, "Uh-oh, I hope it's not anything serious because we absolutely need Quentin Grimes in this for our season. We already got too many players out. We need Quentin Grimes coming off the bench. Like he does a lot for the Sixers, right? But he was able to get up. He walked it off, and he felt perfectly fine. And the Sixers continue to torch the Bucks, right? They continue to generate a ton of offense. But Milwaukee, they were fighting back, right? They were fighting back, and they had guys coming off the bench, scoring. I think Kyle Kuzma did a very, very good job coming off the bench, right? I don't know why they had him coming off the bench, but he came off the bench and was, he was very, very huge for them in the second and third quarters, right? Him, Bobby Portis was doing work when he checked in early in the first half, right? Shooting threes. But I think they came into the game with the wrong mindset, right? Not the wrong mindset, with the wrong game plan, right? And the game plan was to, let the bigs, attack from the 3-point line. So we saw Miles Turner, take and make a lot of threes. A couple threes, not a lot. But that's not that's not the formula to beat the Sixers, right? You have to, you got to dominate them in the paint, right? Because they don't have any rim protection. Or let me not say any rim protection. Their defense is not that solid in the interior right now. When Adem Bona is in the game, yeah, you can attack from the 3-point line because Adem Bona is very, very good at protecting the basket, but not Andre Drummond, right? Andre Drummond, he's a good rebounder, but not really known for his interior presence in terms of blocking or altering shots, right? That's not what he's known for. So I felt like they were supposed to attack the paint, but they didn't really do that. Now that's maybe that's a Doc Rivers thing. Who knows? But I don't think they came into the game with the right game plan. But yeah, they kept fighting. But I think the Sixers only put up 24 points, and Milwaukee was able to put up, I think, 28. But that was because the Sixers started off slow to start off the third quarter. But mid third quarter to late third quarter, they was making shots, right? Making shots, making plays. And like I said, I think Jared McCain, he missed a ton of shots. Like he missed the shots that he was missing. Like he's capable of making those shots, right? He's capable of making them. So yeah, he was 3 for 10 from the 3 and 2 for 8 from the 3-point line. And like I said, Paul George created a ton of opportunities for him, but for whatever reason, he wasn't able to convert. Now that's a one-night thing. I think he's gonna get better from here, right? I think he's going to get better from here. But it's just a one-game thing, right? And the Sixers were on a back-to-back, so you got to cut them some slack. And, the Sixers, they had other guys that picked it up and gave the Sixers exactly what they needed. And that was Jabari Walker making his threes, Quentin Grimes making his threes. Quentin Grimes is a tough shot maker, right? Quentin Grimes is a very, very tough shot maker. Like, people don't give him credit for that. Sometimes he gets a little trigger happy too, but Quentin Grimes is a tough shot maker. And I think if he's coming off the bench for the Sixers for the remainder of the season, I think he can definitely win Sixth Man of the Year, right? Because, he's that dude. Like, every shot is a good shot to Quentin Grimes. Every shot is a good shot to Quentin Grimes, but I think the Sixers are in the position they're in because, Quentin Grimes is definitely playing a factor in it, right? Coming off the bench and being that spark off the bench. So you definitely got to give him credit for that. But yeah, so the Sixers, they ended the third, with a 16-point lead, and Milwaukee, they were still battling, still fighting back, but they go into the fourth, and just as they started the third, the same thing happened in the fourth, right? A couple, empty offensive possessions where, Milwaukee on the other end they were making shots, right? And Milwaukee was making shots. And I think Gary Trent had a play, a 4-point play where Paul George fouled him. And, Paul George, like I said, he's very, very smart defensively. Like, his defensive IQ is there. But, sometimes, you can do all the right things, right? And then at the end, you just slip up. and then you give somebody opportunities like that, right? But Gary Trent, was able to make those what you call it, was able to make that 4 point play, and right then and there it cut the deficit to single digits, right? Because they were also scoring prior to that. But the 76ers, struggling in the beginning of the fourth, but it ended with a Paul George and Adem two-man game, right? Now, I think Paul George. Hey, salute to Hendo, man. Salute to who is Hendo. Michigan Hendo. What's good, bro? The Pistons, hey, playing good. Salute to the Cunning Wolf. But yeah, so I saw a lot of Paul George and Adem two-man game. Right. Adem he can set some good screens sometimes. And when he rolls, like he rolls hard. Pause. Right. He's able to roll. And sometimes, when the defense, steps up, he's able to make some good reads, whether it's, kicking it out into the corner for a three or finding a backdoor cutter in the dunker spot. Like I feel like he can make good plays like that. But sometimes, it's him and his ability to catch the ball. Sometimes, he'll dribble in and fumble it. Right. Sometimes he'll take a dribble or two and then fumble the basketball. That's why I said he has bad hands sometimes. But if he's able to make those plays, those smart plays offensively, like that really helps us, right? And then sometimes, he's able to, take a power dribble and go up strong. And sometimes he's able to draw fouls like that, right? He had a similar play where power dribble and Miles Turner ended up fouling him, right? And I don't know. I think I might be wrong, but Miles Turner kind of declined defensively because when he was in Indiana, like he was a shot blocker. He led the league in blocks at one point in time. But I don't know. It kind of seemed like that his ability to actually like protect the rim is not there anymore. Now I don't know if it's him getting older. I don't know, but he just it's just not there anymore, right? The Sixers had a ton of points in the paint, and yeah, the intimidating factor was just not there. Um, Hendo says, "Man, we trash. The Sixers robbed my Warriors of a win, bro. That game shouldn't have been close in the first place because they was up by as many as 26 points. But Golden State was able to battle back, right? And some point they took the lead, and then late game heroics from VJ Edgecombe, getting that putback, and helping us win the game. And then Maxey also had that that game winning block on DeAnthony Melton. And I like DeAnthony Melton. Like Melton was one of my favorite players on the Sixers. And it kind of hurt me when I saw that play because I was like, damn. But hey, the Sixers were able to get the dub, so I wasn't tripping. But the next game, like this game against Milwaukee, like bro, the dick riding and the slurping from Kate Scott over that block, it was just I couldn't do it. That's why White Square. That's why I'm kind of surprised that you watch the games from the Sixers point of view because I can't do it. Right, I can't do it. The glazing is too much. I can't do it. Bona be fumbling great passes and he can't make free throws, so he gotta make. Yeah, I know. Yeah, those fumbles be hurting the Sixers a lot, especially when they're down and they're trying to like go on a run. And then he'll set a good screen, and then Maxey will find him on that short roll, and then he'll end up fumbling the ball. That sucks. But hey, he made a couple plays, a couple good plays offensively, and defensively. I think he's starting to get a little bit much smarter. Right when he came in, like his rookie season, like he'll go for every pump fake, every fake, like every up fake, like he'll go for it. But I think as of right now, he's kind of getting a little bit more disciplined, and it's starting to show. Right, it's starting to show. But I mean, he's the talent his offensive skill set is not there. And I mean, it's up to the Sixers to develop that side of his game, like try to get the best out of him. But as a rim runner, like he does a good job rim running. Sometimes he's able to get some offensive putbacks, go back up and get some second chance opportunities for the Sixers. But I think his ceiling. He's solid, but I mean, as a second rounder, there's not too much. The talent is just not there offensively. right? The talent is just not there offensively. Salute to Mr. Miles. Appreciate you. First time on the platform. Appreciate you. Miles Turner was always overrated on defense. I don't equate shot blocks to always being great. To always being a great defender in the paint. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Mr. Miles, what I was saying was like when he was in Indiana, like sometimes like he was able to deter shots at the rim. But as of right now, I don't see it anymore. Like guys attack him, and it's just. But I mean, it's true. I mean, rim protection is not always great defense. But sometimes it's just I felt like he was giving Indiana more like in the paint than what he's doing right now. But um, yeah, right now it's just it's non-existent. I don't even know. Melton was yeah. He returned against the Sixers. I mean, because I thought he had a ACL injury or back injury, something like that. Yeah, because he was dealing with injuries his last season with the Sixers, the 23-24 season. Like he was dealing with a lot of injuries. And that's why they didn't bring him back. I was pissed off when they let him walk, but I kind of understood it because he had dealt with a ton of injuries at that point. So White Square says I can only watch locally. I don't have League Pass. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean the League Pass shit, sometimes you don't get the Sixer game, so you gotta find other ways and watching these games. And yeah, you just gotta go find it. But yeah, let me continue. I think the Sixers, they started off slow in the fourth, 1 for 9 in the fourth quarter. That was terrible. But a couple 2-man game from Paul George and Adem Bona, the Sixers were able to score a little bit, but Milwaukee was making threes. I mean, Bobby Portis made a ton of threes. Miles Turner made a ton of threes. And they were able to cut it to single digits, but they made some switches defensively, and I don't know why, because they were playing like three bigs. They had Jericho Sims, they had Bobby Portis, and then they had Miles Turner in the game at the same time. And then they put Jericho Sims on Paul George, and that was a mismatch for Paul George. He was just like, when the Sixers noticed that, they just kept giving him the ball, and he kept attacking, getting to his spots, breaking down Jericho Sims off the dribble, and just getting to a spot and just elevating on some Kobe shit, right? Paul George is just, The fourth quarter was it was Paul George time, right? Get into his spots, elevate, get into a spot, elevate. And the Sixers were able to win. He also made some good plays, right? Made a play for VJ Edgecombe for a three, and then also a play for Quentin Grimes, had the 4-point play. And that kind of was the game right there. Even though Milwaukee tried to battle back, but it was just too little too late because the Sixers were making shots at that point. And that Quentin Grimes 4-point play kind of like was the dagger, right? That was a dagger. And that's how the Sixers were able to win this one, right? Very, very impressive victory. I mean, against a depleted Milwaukee Bucks team. I mean, no Giannis. Giannis dealing with was it a calf strain or whatever? But it was still a fun game, right? And very, very impressive. And I was impressed from every person that contributed for the Sixers. Even though Maxey struggled, I felt like he made an impact defensively. At some point in the fourth, I mean, Maxey tried to be a little bit selfish. There was a play where they got the steal, and Maxey had Quentin Grimes in front of him. And instead of passing it to Quentin Grimes, I think Maxey wanted to go for he wanted those points so badly, and he ended up, getting a shot block from behind by Kyle Kuzma. And that was a selfish play. I felt like he should have made the right pass. And, but hey, great players, sometimes great players have to be selfish. Now, Maxey's not great yet. I think he's on his way, but sometimes that's the best player. You got to be selfish sometimes. And that was one of the instances where he was trying to be selfish, but he didn't get rewarded for it. Mr. Ma says, you think it's a huge win versus the injured Bucks team? I don't think Embiid played, but still. Yeah, I'm saying it's a huge win in terms of the Sixers haven't won back-to-back games in a long time. I mean, not at all this season, right? So that's why I'm saying it's a huge win, because they were able to get those two victories, especially on a traveling back-to-back. Because, sometimes when teams are playing, like when they play tonight and then the next night, they got to travel to a whole different place and play. 9 times out of 10, they end up losing, right? That's what they call the scheduled losses. But they were able to get this victory. And like you said, I mean, no Giannis, I mean, no Embiid. The Sixers had no Embiid, no Kelly Oubre, and a couple other players, but I think Embiid and Kelly are their starters. So, and Milwaukee was only missing Giannis, I think. And then AJ Green ended up being, you know, being rolled out for the rest of the game. So that's what I mean by a huge win. But it's not a huge win as in it makes the Sixers contenders, because obviously they're not contenders as of right now. But it's a huge win in terms of, you know, winning back-to-back games in that perspective or point of view. Yeah, Miles Turner. He said he playing like Legos. Man, Miles Turner funny, bro. Miles Turner is just funny. But yeah, huge victory for the Sixers. Let me go through this box score right quick. So Paul George, you know, 7 for 15. Paul George goes 7 for 15 from the field, right? And most of those shots were jump shots, right? Most of those shots were jump shots. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty efficient. 2 for 6 from the three. Got to the free throw line a couple times. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 20 points. I think that was a solid night for Paul George. And I don't think he decided to show up. I think the Sixers decided to involve him more in the offense. And when he had those mismatches, Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jared McCain, they made those. They saw the mismatches and they let Paul George attack, right? So I think it was a balanced offensive attack right there. Dominic Barlow, 1 for 6 from the field. I think Dominic Barlow and Jabari Walker are very, very interesting. I think Barlow is he hustles more, but Jabari Walker's he's much better, like skilled. He's how do I even put this? He's much polished offensively than Dominic Barlow, but Barlow's able to hustle and get those points, and also he plays very, very good defense. So I think that's why they go for Barlow in the starting lineup and kind of have Jabari as the offensive punch coming off the bench. Now he's only averaging 4 points, but last night in the second quarter, I mean, when you give NBA players, if you give them wide open looks, at some point in time, they will start making those shots. And Jabari Walker is making those shots, right? Jabari Walker is making those shots. So he took advantage. He took full advantage of that soft coverage on him last night. So shout out to him. But Dominic Barlow, not a very, very good game. I think he did some good, you know, rebounding. Did a good deal of rebounds, but 1 for 6, you know, he has to be better next time. Andre Drummond, 2 for 4, you know, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line. I don't know why he'd be taking those threes, but a quiet night for Andre Drummond, 6 rebounds, right? And what's impressive is the Sixers were able to win the rebounding battle, right? They were able to grab more rebounds than Milwaukee. I think that was a huge problem for them in the first matchup, right? In the first game, the Sixers destroyed them on the glass, right? So that's why I think Doc Rivers decided to go with the 3 bigs in the lineup at one point. But yeah, you give up something if you have a lineup like that, right? You give up mismatch opportunities on the perimeter. You give up certain, you know, you give up something, right? So it worked in the Sixers' favor at the end of the day. So VJ Edgecombe, 25 minutes out there, 4 for 8 from the field, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, and you know, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Played some good defense. He was in foul trouble a couple times because, you know, he was picking up those fouls on Gary Trent, KPJ, and Ryan Rollins. I think Ryan Rollins is very, very he's very underrated. I think he's a very good player. Yeah. DeAnthony Melton had an ACL injury. Yeah, that sucks. TV app, thank me later at Mr. Maz. Hey, Handle, you gotta keep it on the low, man. You don't want. Oh my goodness. White Square says Maury needs to sign Dominic Barlow and Jabari Walker now. And to be honest, on a vet minimum, I'll give Ben Simmons a. Bro, are you serious, man? Bro, listen. I don't even want to talk about Benny the Bus right now, bro. I'm not. I'm not even gonna. I'm not in the mood of talking about Benny the Bus, bro. But let me continue on. Maxey, 5 for 14. Like I said, he struggled from the field, but played very, very good defense on AJ Green and Ryan Rollins. So definitely a good game in my opinion. Terrible shooting tonight, but overall a good game in my opinion. 5 for 14, 0 for 3 from the 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. I mean, yeah, he did struggle. You know, those transition threes, you know, sometimes are very, very bad shots. Sometimes they do go in, pause, but those are bad shots in my opinion, especially with 17 or 16 seconds left on the shot clock, right? Those are bad shots in my opinion. But 4 rebounds, 4 assists, four steals, right? One block. Had that block on AJ Green, similar to the same block he had on that Atlanta Hawks player. I forgot his name. But 12 points, you know, a very, very quiet night, right? Maxey's third in scoring, right? So him giving you 12 points, that's a quiet night, right? That's a quiet night, considering the amount of shots he took. But like I said, they played very, very good defense on him, right? Good players do not shoot terribly from the field. Like, there's a reason why they do, right? And sometimes, you know, fatigue can play a factor in it. Good defense plays a factor in it. Or sometimes it's just not your night, right? Sometimes it's just not your night. And I don't think it was Maxey's night last night. So, but Quentin Grimes, 7 for 9 from the field, 6 of 7 from the 3-point line. Five assists, 4 rebounds, 22 points. Very, very, you know, very, very solid, right? Adembona, 4 for 7 from the field, 10 points and 6 rebounds. Right, 10 points and 6 rebounds. Yeah. Jared McCain went 3 for 10 from the field, 2 for 8. Yeah, Jared McCain was missing like some easy threes, corner threes, wide open corner threes. But it's one game. I think he's definitely, you know, next time he's definitely going to knock them down, especially when we play the Lakers Sunday, right? I believe he's definitely going to make those shots. Jabari Walker, 5 for 10, you know, 4 for 8 from the 3, 18 points, right? Really helped us with the 3. So the Sixers, Kyle Lowry, last but not least, Kyle Lowry, 1 for 3. 1 for 3. He played 9 minutes last night. So hey, shout out to Kyle Lowry. But the Sixers, they go 17 of 43 from the 3-point line. That's 40%. And Milwaukee went 11 of 32 from the 3. I mean, it felt like they made more because, I mean, Bobby Portis, Ryan Rollins, and Miles Turner, they made a lot of threes. But only came down to 11. That's surprising. But yeah, let me go to Milwaukee. AJ Green, 0 for 4 from the 3 because Maxey was all in his shit, right? Maxey was all in his face, in his space, right? Forcing him to put the ball on the floor and, you know, dribble. You know, AJ Green he's not very, very comfortable dribbling the basketball. But Maxey was all Maxey was all over him, right? 0 for 4 from the field. That was a terrible night for him. Jericho Sims, you know, 29 minutes, just had a dunk. Miles Turner, 4 for 9 from the field, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line, you know, 42%. He shoots a lot of threes, man. Shooting a lot of threes. Like, this was the game where you try to be dominant in the paint because the Sixers don't have rim protection, right? Andre Drummond is not really an interior presence like that. So shooting 7 threes, I mean, it worked for the Sixers. So, hey, I'll take that. Hey, smash the like button as y'all come in. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. But KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr., 5 for 13 from the field. He finished with 20 points. Miles Turner had 19. Ryan Rollins goes 6 for 13 from the field. You know, he finished with 16 points. Gary Harris, you know, no points. Kyle Kuzma, 7 to 12 from the field, 14 points. Yeah, Kyle Kuzma had a good game. Right, he had a good game. on both sides. And I felt like those possessions where he got on Paul George, like he played some good defense on those possessions, right? He played some good defense on those possessions. And Paul George didn't really like when Kyle Kuzma was in front of Paul George didn't really look to score. He was trying to look to facilitate more. And I'm not saying that Paul George cannot score on Kyle Kuzma, but he was trying to get his guys going more than him trying to get into his bag and trying to show trying to break him down off the dribble and show off the world what he's capable of doing. But yeah, so he had a good game, right? Good, very very good game. Bobby Portis, like I mentioned, 9 for 16. He made a lot of how many threes was it? 4. Yo, sometimes those threes be feeling like a lot. Like those 4 threes felt like 8 threes, 9 threes. But 4 from 9 from the 3-point line. 22 points. But that's what I was saying, that they should have went in the paint more. Right? They should have gotten in the paint more. Yeah, they should have gotten in the paint more. Gary Trent Jr. 2 for 5 from the field, 1 for 4. So that 1 3-pointer is where he had the 4-point play in the fourth. But yeah, overall good game for the Sixers. Yeah, I know it does say huge win in the title, but a huge in the sense of winning back-to-back games, right? Because sometimes you win one, you forfeit the other, or you lose the first one and then you win the second one. But able to win both of them, so it's a huge win in that aspect, right? Not a huge win as in it makes them contenders. No, a huge win because they're able to win those 2 games. So that's why I'm calling it huge. But yeah, overall, my overall takeaway, like, this was a very, very good game. A balanced attack. Maxey didn't have to give you 35 for the Sixers to win. And I saw a couple people mad that Maxey wasn't able to score, and Maxey should have took more shots. Which, I mean, Paul George got 15, Maxey got 14. I mean, I'm just happy that the Sixers had other guys step up and not having to be Maxey every single night, because that's definitely draining, right? So when you have Paul George who can get you 20, and then in the starting lineup, and then you have Quentin Grimes, coming off the bench and also giving you 20, that helps you a lot, right? It helps you a lot. It helps Maxey too, right? It helps Maxey too. So I think it's beneficial for both sides, right? It's beneficial for both sides. But yeah, the next couple games, I think they take on the Lakers on Sunday. I think LeBron is going to play in that one, so looking forward to it. They get to rest tonight, watch film, do all the good things. I think is that a home game? Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, I think that's at home. Yeah, so yeah, that's a home game, definitely. Because the Lakers took on the Boston Celtics last night and they lost, right? So yeah, they definitely gonna lose on Sunday night. Yeah. I might call that one, but White Square says, I'm not desperate for Ben either, but if he's motivated, we could use his defense, rebounding, and playmaking, since we have scorers now. I mean, that's true. That's true from a basketball standpoint. That's true. Now with the Ben Simmons thing, what I just don't like the way he quit on the Sixers. That's why. That, like, most of the smoke I got for Ben Simmons, like, he quit on the Sixers. Right? He quit on the Sixers and started playing the blame game. And that's what I didn't like. But yeah, from a basketball standpoint, like, what you're saying is true. But I mean, what kind of, like, how's his mental like, right? Because he claims he's been dealing with mental health issues for the last few years. Like, what is his mental like, right? What is his mental like? How effective is he going to be out there playing? Because he hasn't played in a long time, right? Because it's going to take him a few games to get back into NBA playing shape, right? Because you're not just going to get out there and start, dominating, or the defense will rebound. Like, it'll take you a few games. So, and we're a quarter into the season. So, I mean, I don't know where he's at right now. Right. I don't know where he's at right now, but I mean, signing him to a vet minimum, I mean, that's cool. But me personally, I don't want that. I think Jabari Walker, Dominic Barlow. I think those are good, right? Those are good. Those are the wing pieces that we needed. Yeah, Ben Simmons is 6'10", but I'm gonna go with the other guys. Right? I'm gonna go with the other guys. Yeah, but the week started off a little slow for the Sixers, but back-to-back victories against the Golden State Warriors, against the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, it's been a good week for them. Right? Been a good week for them. Yeah, I think the word huge is really throwing a lot of people off, right? So instead of huge, I'm saying it's impressive win, right? Impressive win versus Milwaukee, right? Impressive, which it was impressive, right? That was an impressive victory. So you definitely got to give it to the Sixers. Yeah, no Giannis, but okay, no Embiid. Now, I mean, Embiid is not even playing at the same level of Giannis. So yeah, I mean, it's fair to say that Giannis is better, but yeah, and Giannis off this Bucks team. This Bucks team is they. I don't think they're a playing team, to be honest with y'all. Right? I mean, maybe in the Eastern Conference they probably will be, but overall, it's just the talent. The talent level on this team is just not there. Right? The talent level on this team is just not there. And then you couple that with, you know, bad coaching, Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, which yeah, that's if you don't have a great player out there, yeah, it's not going to be good for them. But I mean, let me take a look at the standings right now. Yeah, and I only got a few minutes left, so appreciate y'all for listening this entire time. Yeah, Milwaukee got a losing record right now, 10-14. Yeah, that's not too good, man. Not too good. The Sixers sit at the 7th seed in the play-in, 13-9 in the season. Yeah, but I believe that Paul George, playing more, playing more minutes. I think that's definitely going to help him. 30 minutes last night, right? Close to 30 minutes last night. So, that's definitely a good sign, right? Dominic Barlow is also dealing with some injuries right? He was dealing with injuries of his own. So, but yeah, I mean, Maxey played 36 minutes. After on a back to back, right? Back to back games. So I think he's I mean he's playing a ton of minutes, but at some point the minutes gotta decrease, right? Those minutes gotta decrease because I mean you got four other guards. So I mean 3 other guards. My bad. Salute to Bruce. The Bucks are horrible. That's not a huge win, bro. Hey, Bruce, I would change it. I will make it impressive. And it's impressive because they were able to win back-to-back games. That's why I'm saying it's impressive. So far this season, they haven't won back-to-back games. So yeah, I'm gonna change it up to impressive. But yeah, huge victory against the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I'm trolling at this point. I am trolling at this point. But yeah, I think that's all I got on this game. Very, very. It was interesting, but the Sixers they went up huge early on, and it was just Embiid is definitely a shell of himself. Embiid is definitely a shell of himself. Yeah, those knee injuries ain't no joke. He's definitely a shell of himself, and it kind of reminds me of Gilbert Arenas a little bit after those 2 knee surgeries. Like he was done. Right, he was done. And sometimes, I mean, he'll show you flashes of making a couple shots, but the whole the impact is just not there, right? The impact is just not there, and I think Sixer fans need to be honest with ourselves, and the end is near, right? This is the beginning of the end for Joel Embiid. So, his days of making All-Star teams and All NBA teams are probably over, right? And as Sixer fans, we have to face it, right? We gotta face it, and that's just the truth. But the good thing is, I mean, Maxey is developing into a borderline superstar caliber player. I don't think he's a superstar right now, but he's showing flashes, or yeah, he's showing flashes of that. But I think he has. I need to see some consistency, and also I need to see it. I need to see some consistency in the playoffs before I can give him that. But as far as Embiid, yeah, Embiid is done. Yeah, he is over with. Is over with. 30-point per game seasons and all NBA teams, all star teams. It's over with. Yep, it's over with. It's sad because it ended like this. It is so sad, but yeah, it wasn't in his control. Not in his control at all. You were trading for. Hey, I don't think at this point, I don't think any team going to take Joel Embiid, bro. No team is trading for Joel Embiid. He's stuck with the Sixers. Hey, maybe Oklahoma might be like, you know what? Let's give this a try. Let's pair Joel Embiid with SGA. Let's see what that looks like. I mean, who knows? I mean, the Thunder, they got all the picks. So hey, that'll help the Sixers out. That'll definitely help But Bruce, why you want Kuminga going? I mean, Kuminga is a very, very good young player. He's a good young player. I mean, he just don't fit the Sixers. I mean, the Warrior system. He just don't fit the Warrior system and how they play. Because that whole system is predicated off Steph Curry. So, and Kuminga is kind of like an ISO kind of player. So, yeah, it's just not gonna work out. That would destroy the chemistry for the Thunder. Um, for the Thunder, will it? I mean, they got some good players. I mean, I think Embiid knows that right now. He don't got it. I mean, SGA is fighting with Jokic for the best player in the league tag. So at that point, you just have to concede to SGA, bro. You just have to concede to him. Let SGA be the D Wade of his generation, and you be the Shaq, the 2006 Miami Heat Shaq, and just go from there. He says Kuminga is not a winning player. Nah, Bruce, you can't say that. Nah, you can't say that. That's not fair. You can't say that. I mean, the Warriors need a big man though. I mean, I don't know why they've been playing small for such a long time. I mean, they had success with it, but at some point, you need an actual center, right? The small ball shit not gonna work, right? And especially, I mean, no Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler, is definitely gonna affect you. White Square says he's saving himself for the playoffs, bro. I mean, I hope so, right? I mean, maybe he just tricking us. He's tricking the public, and then might go into the playoffs, and then first game in the playoffs, 50-25. I mean that. I mean, I just think that's unrealistic. It's not realistic. But if he's saving himself for the playoffs, okay, good. But you got to get in the playoffs first. And I mean, I think Maxey and Paul George can get you in the playoffs, but they're not gonna be. It's just like you're not gonna have home court advantage, right? So if Maxey and Paul George are leading you in the regular season, you're gonna end up 5, 6, or 7 seed, meaning you're starting every playoff series on the road. And I have said this before. I'll say it again. I don't trust the Sixers starting a playoff series on the road. I just don't. So, yeah, he said saving himself. He's not a. Hey, I apologize. Yo, Bruce, you ignorant, bro. He said he not a virgin. I am cracking up. But White Square, I mean, I just hope that's the case. But I mean, from what I've seen, it's just he just don't got it, bro. He's yet to grab double-digit rebounds in the regular season. I mean, if your big man, I said this the last time, if your big man can get you rebounds, like what is he good for? Right? If he can get you rebounds, what is he good for? And I mean, sometimes he's not even jumping. And it's not like he's boxing out guys to for other guys to get the rebound, but it's just I don't know, man. And he's relying so much on jump shots, right? He's relying so much on jump shots. So, sometimes as a big, like you gotta power your way to the basket, and I just don't see that burst anymore. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But I mean, hey, it could be true, right? It could be true that he's saving himself for the playoffs. It could be true. So, I hope that's the case. And the Sixers, hopefully, they have a plan, a successful plan. Because if this don't work out, the fan base is gonna be pissed off. I mean, the fan base they already pissed off. I mean, everybody's with Maxey right now. You know, giving them MVP chance at the free throw line and shit. So yeah, they. He said Austin Reeves is better than Embiid right now. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves has been playing good. Been playing very, very good. Getting superstar kind of calls and shit, right? Shooting 10 free throws. Man, Austin Reeves is taking 10 free throws. Luka's taking 12 free throws. That's crazy. But yeah, I think Austin Reeves is better than Embiid. And that sounds crazy, but hey, that's the reality of it. Right? That's the reality. So but yeah, I think that's it. That's it. That's all I got. Hopefully the Sixers can get some, a couple players back for Sunday against the Lakers. I mean, funny enough, the Sixers do play the Lakers on Sunday, which Embiid is definitely going to play in that one, right? So we'll see what he looks like, and yeah. But in the last few games, Embiid has not looked good. I think the only good game from him was against the Toronto Raptors, right? And I mean that game, I believe the only reason why he was able to go off was because Toronto had no center, right? They had Scotty Barnes playing center, and Scotty Barnes is, he's little, so Embiid is gonna win those matchups, sometimes. Yeah, LeBron's been washed. I mean, he's 41 years old. He washed. It's over for him, right? But I believe LeBron is definitely gonna play in Philly. I believe he's gonna play in Philly. Um, he never misses games in Philly for whatever reason. So yeah, looking forward to it. But he missed the game against Boston, which is funny, right? Missed the Boston game. But yeah. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Really appreciate y'all. Smash the like button if you haven't already. And hey Bruce, last question. What you think of the Clippers cutting Chris Paul? I mean, I was happy. I ain't gonna lie. Get him off the team. Get some young players. Get him off the team. Get some young players and go from there. Right? The younger players can fill in that void. But I think the Clippers, like it's kind of over. Said Clippers trash. Oh man. Hey, but they're making good moves. I mean, I think cutting Chris. I mean, sending them home. That's a good move, in my opinion. To send his ass home. Nah, it don't matter. Clipper legend, it don't matter, bro. Get your ass up. Get your old ass up out of here, bro. Just retire. Retire and stop wasting people's time. You're not winning the championship. It's cool. Other great players didn't win a championship. That's cool. But trust me, the Clippers will be successful here on out. I know they lost to the Grizzlies last night, but hey, they're gonna get better, bro. But they beat the Hawks. And the Hawks is a good team this year, right? Without Trae Young. So, hey, you lose some, you win some. It is what it is. Yeah, that's a good move. Yes. Yes, it is a good move. When you cut Chris Paul is a good move. Bruce, come on. We not doing that, man. We ain't doing that. We not doing that. Nah, it's not stat padding. He has to take those shots. Cause I mean, it's better he takes those shots rather than Chris Dunn and all the other scrubs on the team. Um, yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, I mean, early on in the season, I predicted the Clippers would miss the playoffs. So I'm kind of right. I'm kind of right. So, but I mean, what's their record? They record 6-17. Damn. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, everybody predicted New Orleans to be a better team, and they the 15th seed. And Zion gonna miss. He gonna miss a little bit of time. Damn. The Lakers are the third seed. Denver's the fourth seed. Well, Lakers gonna drop because the Sixers gonna beat them at home. Yeah, they'll drop. By Sunday, the Lakers will be the fifth seed. Just putrid basketball. I mean, yeah, they horrible. New Orleans is horrible. Yeah, but I mean, the season it's been interesting, right? Very very interesting. But I mean, I think the Clippers they can still get in the play-in, right? They can still fight for the play-in because there's still a lot of games left. But you have to start winning now because ain't much time left. Gotta start swinging right now because we're a quarter into the season, right? We're a quarter way through the season, so almost halfway through the season. I mean, it's December, early December, so they got time. We'll see. But you have to go on a run from right now to the All-Star break, right? Bro, nobody's trading for Kawhi. No contender is trading for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi. So you want the Golden State Warriors to be a super team, a super duper team. Kawhi, Jimmy, Draymond, Steph. Damn, that's not. I mean, if they do, they'll have to give up Jimmy Butler. So unless the Clippers want Jimmy Butler, then yeah, because Jimmy's on that extension, so that'll make the contracts work. But yeah, it's terrible, very very terrible. But yeah, impressive victory for the Sixers. Not huge, right? Not huge. Impressive victory for the Sixers, winning back to back games because ain't no scheduled loss, right? So impressive victory from them. Hopefully they can beat the Lakers this Sunday, and it'll be huge for them, right? It'll be huge for them heading into the following week, right? It'll be very very huge for them. I mean, you beat the third seed in the Western Conference, so that's definitely gonna be huge. He said Embiid for Giannis. Yeah, Milwaukee ain't making that move, man. Milwaukee, they too smart. And I mean, if I'm the Bucks, like I will. I mean, Giannis wants to get traded. I'm calling the Thunder, right? I'm calling the Thunder. You got young players. You got a lot of assets. Yeah, that's what I'm calling. Get most of their picks. Get the picks. Get the younger players, and SGA will team up with Giannis. Yeah. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate you, Bruce. Appreciate you for being here. BJ been doing a lot of cap. I mean, BJ's sad, bro. He's just sad. He's just sad. Protect Kawhi Leonard. Blame Harden and Ty Lue. That's sad, bro. That's sad. But I'm gonna catch him on his platform one of these days. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Sixers, go Sixers. Huge victory. I say yeah, Bruce. I give you. I mean, definitely, right, definitely. Now, I mean, I'm not saying Ty Lue has been perfect. I mean, he has his flaws when it comes to coaching, and in some games, sometimes going with the veterans instead of the young guys. Some of the young guys, the Kobe Browns and the rest of them, but to put every loss on the same two people, it's just nasty, bro. It's just nasty. Let's call it how it is, bro. It's just nasty. And the thing that I don't one thing I don't get is that when Harden took less shots in Game 7, y'all blamed him for taking less shots. But when he takes more shots, then you're complaining. So what is he supposed to do? It's just I don't know. Yeah, you definitely have. You've been saying that. You've been saying that. You've been saying that. So that's fair. Those two guys. I mean, Capman has been. I don't know, man. It's just protect Kawhi Leonard. That's his whole gimmick. Protect Kawhi Leonard. Him, BJ, Skills, protect Kawhi Leonard. That's sad. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right here because I can keep going, but I'm gonna end it right here. Yeah, wait for the role players to step up for the Sixers, right? Against the Lakers, I expect other guys to step up as well. I expect Maxey to have a bounce back game, and hopefully the Lakers might put Bronny out there to check Maxey, and then Maxey is gonna go nuclear and drop a 50 piece like they did last season. That was crazy. They put Bronny out there, put Bronny on Maxey, and Maxey was just licking his chops, and he just went to work, destroyed him. But yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.